Previously on the Money Matter Show.
And he says when the government takes your money through inflation, you have no idea why you're poorer, but you're just poorer. You know what I mean?
For me, I say 101 automation. Because if you leave it in your hands and you manually be like, yeah, when I get paid, I'm going to put X amount of money here, the likeliness of you doing it or forgetting to do it is very, very big. So what we need to do is automate.
Audio Jungle.
Yeah, that's it. I reached my quota for the month. I'm good.
Natalie's new word, she's reached the quota.
Yeah, I reached my quota.
Okay, so before we started this, I was telling them a story about this guy watching on YouTube, Anthony O'Neill, and he's talked about going out on a date with a lady, and then the lady like in the middle of that date, the lady was already planning the next date, and she literally said, she wanted to go to this particular place, and he said to her, that's fine, but I've actually spent my budget for this month in terms of outing, and it would be for the next month. And basically the lady ghosted him. So
That's cold.
I thought that was cold.
That is cold.
And you know what? What he actually pointed out as well is the fact that it was 6 days to the new month. So technically she could have had that date a week. I'm telling you. So it's a case of, a lot of the time, do people work with our budgets? Do we have to change our budgets to suit people? How does the budgeting work in the dating world? How does budgeting work in the real life?
I say stick to your guns. You know what I mean? Stick to it. The fact that he even told her, he didn't have to tell her, I've reached my quota for the month. He could have played the long game and dragged it out, to see her. But the fact that he was open enough to even tell her that, this is the situation this month, she doesn't deserve him. So it's
that's someone that's comfortable talking about money.
That definitely is someone comfortable. I do that now because when friends say, I can't go out because I'm broke, I haven't got money, that's just again coming from like a scarcity mindset, a lack of mindset, which I
negativity,
which I don't subscribe to.
Yeah,
you have to be really careful about the language and how you speak about money. Yeah. So for me, again, I would say that sorry guys, I've reached my quota for the month.
That's going to be my new line, guys.
You have to say it.
I've reached my quota for the month.
If you keep saying you're broke, you're only going to bring more brokenness into your life. So
positive affirmation, like positive stuff, definitely. What do you think about that, Fola? Like if a girl goes to do.
What? Because
and I keep calling you Fola. Fola, what's wrong with me? How would you feel? How would you feel about the girl in terms of money? Actually, we're going to go and talk about relationships and money.
if she ghosted me because she couldn't wait 6 days for a date.
That's mad.
I mean, do I even need to explain how?
Yeah. I'm even like, when did this happen? On Sunday night? Couldn't wait for next weekend. This is
like, seriously,
that's crazy. We were at work. Like,
but the thing is that, I think where the lady was coming from is about she knew that this guy was in a financially stable place. She knew that he talks about money on YouTube. Mm-hmm. He talks so he owns his own home, mm-hmm. bought his dream car, cash down, all that kind of stuff. Clearly has a good investment portfolio, and because she would probably feel like, am I not important enough for him to make sacrifices for me?
There's no excuses for that kind of behavior. There's no excuses. You just couldn't wait 6 days for a date.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
That's not someone you'd want to be serious with anyway at the end of the day.
True. And again, I don't think someone should be making that much of a sacrifice when they just meet you anyway.
Right,
exactly.
Second date, right?
Oh, relax.
Too
it's
much.
time.
Yeah.
So while we're on the relationship talks, how important is money in relationships?
Yeah, it's very important, man.
Important,
like it's
you're gonna zoom. You're gonna zoom.
We need to zoom into her face.
Very important, guys. Very important.
Now let's not sugarcoat it. Like it's an important thing. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I feel like with even girls that pretend that they don't care about money, they're just being pretentious. And like, let's be honest, you want the guy to, even if he doesn't have money at the time, you need to see some sort of.
There's something that can make you get money.
Yeah, because I mean, like, let's be honest, man. Girls are tired of broke guys, and guys are tired of broke guys.
If you ain't got no money, take your broke ass home.
Let's be honest, man. Like, it's just what it is, man. I mean, like, and especially in this time as well. Like, there's a lot of money out there. You just have to go and take your piece of the pie. At the end of the day, a lot of people aren't just reaching for their piece of the pie. They're just succumbing to what they have. And that goes into what you said about that brokenness kind of mentality. A lot of people just don't believe in themselves a lot. That's the problem I find with some people. Like,
when it's relationships and money, simply because with me, when I meet a guy, and of course you can't judge a book by its cover, you don't know what this
I learned that one the hard way.
You don't know what this guy has. But then when you start talking to them and realizing that maybe they haven't got their head screwed on, or maybe they haven't got money in the bank, they haven't even got savings. And I do it with my guy friends as well. We talk about money all the time because it's important. Like the people I surround myself with are go-getters. So when you meet a guy that doesn't tick those boxes already, you know, sometimes they feel like women, we overthink. Oh my God, we think about marriage already when we meet someone on the first date, right? We all do it in our heads. It's just
first date.
Sometimes you think about it.
No, you think about it.
It's very
sometimes, it can happen.
Marriage.
No, you
not about you want to marry the person.
Yeah, but you think, oh, what would my life be like if I was to marry someone like this person? The reason I say that is because when you meet someone who maybe doesn't like quite add up there financially, you're thinking, what will my life look like with this person?
Now my children will be hungry.
I don't want to entertain someone just for a free meal and have a date. But when you have a date and you understand what that person's about, you're like, you can't even see potential there. It's like, you don't want to have that in your life, because then when you do eventually get married, you know, their credit score and your credit score combines, like if you take out certain products, and that can be detrimental in some cases. So it's like with me, I always think ahead. I'm like,
no, I hear that, because
my credit.
And the thing that it's not just even someone earning a lot, it's also someone that manages it well, and that's where the body thing comes in. Because I know a couple where they both have good earnings, but their expenses, their outgoing is ridiculous. If one person lost a job, they will be in problems.
It's the thing where that earnings thing means absolutely nothing. It's all about how you manage the money.
100%.
So when the first thing people do when they get a pay rise or something, well, not everyone, but a lot of people
treat themselves money.
But they think that this is an invite to now take on more liability and start spending.
Their lifestyle increases.
If you kept the same lifestyle, but with your increased income, you're one step closer to financial freedom.
Yeah, 100%.
But you've literally killed it.
Let's clap for that one. If you kept your expenses the same and your income went up, you're a step closer, because you have more capital to do more things with.
And then again, filter that back into investments that are going to grow with you over time.
Yeah.
Over time, it's literally impossible not to become wealthy if you're spending less than you earn and investing the difference. Do you know what I mean? There's over time. Do you know what I mean? It's all about numbers. Time will work in your favor in that kind of situation. So yeah, I mean, that's important. I mean, earning more is not an invitation to start spending more. You still always have to spend less than you earn, because
100%.
it runs its course. Like, you can't outrun your expenditure if it's more than your income.
It's going to catch up with you. Like, no matter how many credit cards you use, you're going to eventually have to pay them back. Actually, that being said, would you marry someone that was already in debt, like in serious debt? Like, let me say they were... Actually, yeah, would that be a different thing? If the person was like a 5k debt and the person was maybe like in 30k debt, would that have an effect if you want to marry that person or not?
I mean, 5k debt isn't bad, I guess. 30k debt can be bad.
Natalie's face was like, what? Debt is debt. They owe money.
It's not that. I'm just waiting for you to finish.
What kind of debt are we talking about?
Yeah, what kind of debt is it?
Any debt. So it could be debt from, okay, so we're not in America, so the student loan thing is not a thing. That goes out your pay and more. But like the person maybe took a loan out to do their house, took a loan out to go on holiday. I've heard people do that one, yes, I can't believe it.
Is there a plan to pay off this debt?
Yeah, it's not so much about what the debt is.
Yeah, is there a plan? That's what I need to know.
They're taking it out monthly and they maybe miss payments every now and then.
No. I like to know, what kind of debt is it? How long have you had this debt for? And have you even started paying it back? Because you're talking about would I marry? Would I date? Would I date?
Wow!
No, but it's important because...
How would you know their debts if you've dated them though? Some people disclose those kind of things, I guess.
Natalie will probably, she's a money talker. She'll find out through their talks.
You draw their credit card.
But the thing is, you have these conversations, you have important conversations. The same way I can have a conversation with a male friend of mine and find out about his financial situation just being a friend. If I'm dating someone, we're going to talk about these things because it's important.
But do you think people will be honest, like, on the, like,
you know what? With male ego, maybe not. But then
That's how I feel, to be fair.
But
Who do you think's
shouldn't
more honest about finances, males or females? Male or females?
Women. I think women. You know
No,
what?
I think women are honest with women. Women are my friends. I know friends that their husband don't know how much they earn, and they would never know.
Really?
Period.
Oh, for real?
Yes. Because in their head, it's the man's responsibility to take care of the bill, and they feel like disclosing that information to the man may make him lapse in the terms of doing the provider thing. But to me, if you've had a conversation about money, it shouldn't matter what I'm earning. Because trust me, my husband has to be in a place where he's looking after me. You're adding value to my life. If you're not adding value to my life,
You have to be adding value to his life as well.
like, of course, it's a two-way stream. But in the sense of a lot of people, I've met people where they have proposed dating certain people because they know the person is in a financially stable place, and they're not quite in that place. So it's almost like they come in to become a leech.
Come up.
No, trust me, there are loads of people that I've seen it.
Real,
I've known loads of people that have been in that situation, and the person is sizing up how much. Do you own your property? Sizing up what car does the person drive? Not realizing that those material things
means nothing.
Those material things don't mean anything.
They don't mean anything.
For real.
And it's how we've been conditioned. You know, when we see people driving nice vehicles, we assume
They made it.
must have money. You know, looking at the plate, all these stupid things that don't amount to anything because the brokest people drive the nicest cars. So.
You know what? I remember going to some flats in was it East London, and literally part there. I went for a house party. Almost every car there was like a range, and everything was like that year's car, or the year before's car, and I'm like, wow, this council must just have like ballers. Like, I don't understand.
That's a fake status.
Like, I think, and do you think that is a pressing issue, especially for guys? Do you think that that's a pressing thing for guys, for them to have to look rich just to get a suitable partner?
It's all personal, isn't it, at the end of the day. So, do I think that? Yeah, a lot of people are pretending to be rich anyway. I mean, it's got to the stage where people would rather look like they've got money, because it's much easier than to actually do the work to get to the money.
100%.
So it's got to the stage where if I can't have the money, let me at least look
Like I have the money.
Yeah.
They settle for second best, where apply that same energy into the
To actually make the money.
To actually make the money. So
There's no shortcut, man.
yeah, there isn't any shortcuts, unfortunately. If there was, everyone would be taking it.
It's
There's
true.
no shortcuts.
So the key thing now, I've always had this stance, and I'm glad that other people that are money conscious have that stance, as to the fact that I'm not going to be anyone's come up. So it's not a case of, as you said, it's not a case of them having debt. It's also what's the debt for? What are you doing to service the debt? How long do you have a plan to clear that debt, kind of thing? Because again, as you said, some people I'm in debt, they don't really plan for it. So that also shows your lack of financial literacy and your means of coming out of that situation. And essentially, if you're dating or looking to start a life with that person, that plays a pivotal role as to the decisions you're making. And I feel like sometimes that financial status helps you wither away some of the nonsense. Because just like the guy's situation, a lady that was just out for what she can get, from the onset, you're like, no, this is not the person for me, in that respect. But also someone that's trying to fake it till they make it. Are we going to be faking it our whole lives?
Yeah.
Is it really worth it?
It's going to catch up with you, man.
Because it's always going to be that thing of keeping up with the Joneses. And I feel like, especially in our black community, there's that whole idea of keeping up with the Joneses. There's that whole macho kind of thing.
When people say that, I just say the Joneses, they don't even know you. So what's the point? They don't know you. So who are you trying to keep up for?
Yeah, that's true.
To impress people you don't
That
know.
is so true.
And it's going to get to the stage where if you're not going to scale back on your lifestyle, you're going to be forced to. If you're not going to willingly do it, you're going to be forced to when that payment gets on top of you. When that interest rate keeps on. Oh, that's another thing people need to do as well. A lot of people who are in debt, like credit card debt, there's options where you can switch it 100%. Onto a lower interest rate credit card.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But then again, sometimes you have to have good credit enough to be able to switch some of them.
That's true, but that's why you have to stay on top of the payments
to be able to do that.
Yeah, and then keep on knocking on the door, trying to find ways around.
And that was what Natalie said about contacting people, finding out more.
Transfer
that interest is just gonna. I mean, some people got to the stage where they're just paying off the interest on their loans.
I know.
You know what? I was talking to someone the other day, and they were saying that the credit card APR was like 34%. I was like, what?
Oh.
I was like,
Get much lower than that.
Like in my head, like an average, like I have a 0% card and I have a 9% card, and the 9% card is a card I've had since forever. Because I remember when you first tried to get something, like, oh, you don't have any credit, so people advise you got a credit card, and I was very like strict as to the fact that I only use this, like, and I'm paying it off when I use it. 100%. And at one point I did get caught up in the whole idea of someone wants something, and I used to use my credit card to buy things for people, and then people start to pay me back, forgetting the fact that there was interest in it. And initially when I then became like, I'm like, okay, I need to get my life together, I saw the financial advisor, and initially my credit card APR was 24%. I never paid any attention to that, and all it took was a 20 minutes meeting in the bank, and that was reduced to 9%. And I didn't do anything. All I just did is just reviewed it, and that's it.
Can be done.
So a lot of the times, if you don't, like, you know what the Bible says, if you don't seek, you're not gonna find. So if you don't, like, inquire, that definitely has an impact. So that being said, thank you guys so much for sharing your expertise. Could you just tell the guys where they can find you?
So you can find me on Instagram at Natalie Scott Empowers, on Twitter at Miss Scotsway, and obviously if you want any more information, send me a DM or check my website nataliescottempowers.com.
And it's you, sir.
You can find me on Instagram, Sterling's Financial Solutions. You can find me on Twitter, Sterling's Finance, but that's STERLINGS
I'll put this all on the screen because that was long. I lost count of that in my head. But yeah, it's been a great conversation, and I think that money matters, and we need to talk about it more, because it affects every part of our life, even if we don't realize it. And for someone like me, definitely giving is something that I think is absolutely crucial as a Christian. So I pay my tithe, and people have loads of things to say about that. Paying myself, and as you said, diversifying our portfolio and being conscious as to what's coming in and what's going out. Because I think that's the key thing that would be the make or break if you get financial freedom or not. So thank you for watching, and we'll catch you soon.
Thank you so much for watching the Money Matters series. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe.